some of the parents, they're the problem. Some of the parents have children who are trying to practice al-Islam. The girl wants to be Aziza, Sharifa, and she has Izzah and respect for herself. The boy is trying to practice, but the parents are the problem. And the parents actually believe, they sit in a class like this and they say, wow, yeah, that's right. Khidr cut the boy's head off. Wow, look at the position of the parent. So he actually thinks he could cut the head off of the child. He can do whatever he wants to do to the child. No, it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street, a dual relationship. The parent has rights over the child, and the child has rights over the parents. And the rights of the parent is greater than the rights of the child over the parents. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. After Allah, the person who has the most rights over you are your mothers. Are your mothers. As men, your mothers have more rights over you than your wife and children. The three people were caught in the cave when the cave closed. Three of them said, listen, everyone think about something that he did, and hopefully we can make this tawassul and we can get the cave door open. The one said, wallahi, had my mother and my father. I used to go out, I used to milk my animals. I would come to my house and I would find them still sleeping. My children and my family were hungry and they were crying. But I would stand over my mother and my father's head with the bowl of milk. And I wouldn't move, being silent, so that I wouldn't wake them up. And I was telling the wife, make the kids quiet. He didn't give the milk to the kids. He was waiting for his mother and his father to wake up so he can give them to drink first. When he said, oh Allah did that and only for you, the cave opened up. But the Prophet said, this is one of the dalils that go to show, for the man, your mother and your father have more rights over you than your wife and your children. For the woman, her husband has more rights over her than her mother and father in terms of obedience. If the husband says, don't go to your parents' house, that's uquq al-walidain. That's uquq al-walidain. But the girl should obey her husband, because she has to listen to him more than anyone else. Ta'ah, the obedience is to her husband before anyone else. But the huquq of the parents are more than the huquq of the husband. But he should be obeyed. The point is, it's not acceptable for the parent to be oppressive. He doesn't want the child to get married. The child found someone to marry who is religious and appropriate. But because he's not from the same qabila, the mother and the father say no. But why? Why? Because Umar radiallahu anhu, he told Abdullah ibn Umar, don't marry that lady. And then the Prophet ﷺ came to his son, Ibn Umar, and said, what's the matter? He said, I married this lady and Umar told me not to marry her. The Prophet said, then divorce her if your father said that. So the mother and the father say, the hadith of Umar. Akhi, are you like Umar? The mother and the father, you like Umar? You don't pray. You're a criminal. You're a liar. What are you talking about, Umar? The point here, Ikhwani, is some parents, that's how they think. They're the problem. So what do we do in these cases? Again, two wrongs don't make a right. If your parent is giving you a problem, the parent is problematic, that doesn't give you the right to be disobedient to your parents. Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in the Quran, وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَى أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. If your parents order you to make shirk with Allah, with that which Allah didn't give you authority, then don't obey your parents. But obey them and be with them in the dunya in a way that is ma'roof. When they tell you to do what's wajib, you have to listen to them. When they tell you to do something that's not haram, if you have the ability, you should listen to them. But if they told you to disobey Allah, disbelieve in Allah, don't listen to them. If they tell you to do something that's beyond your ability, I want to marry this girl, and my parents say no. And I know that my parents are not good people. They're kuffar. My mother is judging from kufr. Don't marry her. They're Muslims, but they're not practicing. Don't marry her because she's not from the tribe. Do I have to listen to them? If you have the ability, listen to them. But if you don't want this opportunity to pass you by, you don't have to obey them in this issue. It's better if you can. But if you don't have the ability, you don't have to listen to them in this issue. It's better if you can. Because this didn't happen just once with Abdullah bin Umar. This happened a few times during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where the parent told the person, don't marry that individual. And the Prophet said, listen to your parent. There's a companion, his name is Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, one of the 10 people promised Jannah. His mother loved him. His mother came and she was a mushrikah. She said, if you don't leave Islam, I'm going to stop eating, I'm going to kill myself. And then the people are going to say, you killed your mother. So the mother wanted the boy to apostate. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas told his mother, if Allah gave you 99 souls in addition to the one you have right now, you killed each one after the other, I'm not going to leave my deen. You'll kill yourself before I leave my deen. Because she was telling the boy to do that which was haram. So you can't obey the parent when the parent is telling you to do something that's wrong, but still you can't be disobedient to them. Because there's nothing that equals to this issue of birru walidain. There was a man, Ikhwani, who came to Abdullah ibn Abbas. Listen to this authentic issue. He was from the Tabi'een, living with the companions in al-Medina. He came to Abdullah ibn Abbas. He said, Ibn Abbas, you're from the companions of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you're from our ulama. I have something I want to tell you. He said, Tafaddal. The man said, there was a lady that I really loved her. I loved her a lot. I loved her a lot. And I wanted to marry her. So I asked for a hand in marriage. They said no. And then another man came and asked for the hand in marriage, and they married her to that man. He said, I became upset and jealous. So I caught that man one day and I killed the man. I killed the man. Or I killed the lady. The lady didn't do anything. She has the right to say, I don't want you, I want you. But his jealousy caused him to kill the lady, another man's wife, a Muslim. But his issue didn't get public. He said, Ibn Abbas, I want to make tawbah. I want to make tawbah to Allah. What do you advise me to do, Ibn Abbas? Ibn Abbas said, are your parents living? Is your mother living? He said, La wallahi. He said, then you have to make tawbah to Allah. And he shook his head. The man walked away. One of Ibn Abbas's students came and said, Ya Imam, Ya Shaykh, Ibn Abbas. When the man told you the story, you asked him about his mother. Why did you ask about his mother? He said, because I don't know any sin. I don't know any deed that can push the sin of murder away like the deed of birru walidain. That was the understanding of Abdullah ibn Abbas. This man murdered someone, now he needs a kafara. What can he do? Hajj, Umrah, Jihad? What can he do to push that away? He said, I don't know any deed that he can do to wipe that out, make kafara, other than having bir to his mother. Showing the understanding, Ikhwani, of that companion who was given the tarbiyah and the knowledge by the Nabi of al-Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That kalam of Ibn Abbas and that fahm, his understanding, just didn't come from anywhere. So this issue of birru walidain, respecting and taking care of the parents, is an issue that is imperative in the deen. The man will never be able to give his father his rights. When the Prophet was asked, who has the most rights? Everyone knows, he said, your mother, your mother, your mother. And then who? He said, your father. The Prophet said that a man will never be able to give his father his rights. Ever. Your father. You will never be able to give him his rights for what he did for you, except in one case. If the man grew up and he found his father as a slave. Somehow he became a slave. And the son was free. A free man. And the son purchased the freedom for his father. If that happens, then the son has given the father back his rights. You can't do that. Where are you going to find your father a slave? So that means effectively we'll never be able to give our fathers their rights back. And the father, again, is MIA. He's missing in action. He didn't take care of you. He didn't take care of you. He's not on the scene. Instead of harboring in your chest hatred and animosity towards him, you should make dua for him. Because even with abandoning his children, which is a kabira from the kabair, although he abandoned them and he wasn't there for their tarbiyah, he wasn't there for them, and that's part of the reason why they went crazy, still the child will never be able to give the father his rights. And if you can't give his father his rights back, then